And welcome back everyone on the Decoder channels for a special edition where we are going to talk about meme coins and more precisely scales. Guys, Julian and Rolex, welcome home. Thank you so much for accepting this invitation. I'm excited to talk to you guys. It's going to be nice.
Thanks for having us, man. Yeah, pleasure to be here.
Thank you so much. And yeah, thank you for doing that. GM Dejan Hermes do video and Small Cat. What's up? What's up? Nice. Okay, cool. So, guys, can you start by introducing yourself? Because I don't know you. I mean, personally, and like introducing like scales and what you're building on Solana and the community, etc., etc. Julian, can you start?
Sure. So I'm Julian. Yeah, I've been around on Solana for a couple of years now.
Nice.
So as of now, I'm kind of working like full time on Skills project, and also I'm involved in the cadet working group actually with Jupiter DAO. Yeah. So those are what I'm focused on right now, and skills. Okay. So for skills, for me personally, it's been something that I've been like the whole idea behind it is something I've been thinking about like since like late of last year. Just been like brainstorming and thinking about it, right? But I think the core idea kind of has evolved a little bit over time as well. So right now, what we are kind of focused on really is to kind of create like the safest and like the best way to kind of really onboard your friends, family, and fans onto Solana blockchain, basically. Yeah, the Web3.
Yeah, one dragon at a time.
Yeah, that's right. Rolex, how
what about you, Rolex?
Yeah, so I've been in the space. What's up? I'm Rolex Gold, by the way. Been in the NFT Solana ecosystem space, I guess, whatever you want to call it, since 2021. Kind of heavy. My first mint was Stoned Ape Crew, and kind of fell in love with Solana. Really, the UI was nice. The gas fees were cheap. Everything was lightning fast compared to using ETH or BTC. So I just stayed here and really got heavily involved with like all the NFT projects and whatnot on Solana. I just love the whole community aspect of it, and they were fun and everything like that. So yeah, I've been in the space for a minute, and Julian and I met and discussed scales, and we were just like, yeah, let's do this, man. Like there's definitely a need for it, and I think like we can do it. So
nice. So what scales for like the decoders community that's not part of it just yet?
Yeah,
Julian, Rolex, yeah, go for it. Rolex.
There's really like two parts of scales, and then Julian, you can add on to this if you want. But I think the first part is we aim to educate and onboard new users in like the safest and friendliest way to Solana. It's like a very predatory space, right? Like there's a real problem that exists. Like, would you bring your family or friends into Web3 or into Solana? And a lot of people say no, right? Yeah. Because it's like, it's very predatory. Like there's so many things that could wreck them, and you just don't have the time to like be over top of them every second, right? So there's that aspect of scales. And then there's the token aspect and the DAO aspect where should you still get drained, we have kind of like a system that's built where you can reclaim those tokens back from the DAO by submitting a claim. And it's a work in progress, but there's a lot of moving parts and components to it. But that's kind of like the gist of it. Okay. Julian, I don't know if you want to add.
Yeah, I think that token utility aspect, the way I see it, is really like a cherry on top kind of thing. Like it's not really like we really want like the main focus to be on like the onboarding and education, right? And then kind of also create like a community where the ethos and it's basically like everybody can win together, kind of PPP kind of idea, where we'll talk about this later in the stream, right? Yeah. So the idea here is like we want to create a kind of welcoming community and somewhere where people can like really feel like they are part of something that is not trying to kind of like exploit or rip them off, basically, right? And then on top of that, that whole anti-drain kind of DAO token utility thing is something that is like a cherry on top. So like in really like the worst case scenarios and stuff, you are also protected kind of like holding skills token. Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah. So to onboard my friends and family and relatives, like when I ask me about like crypto and stuff, I ask them, "Are you ready to lose everything?" And when they say no, then we talk. No, if they say no, then it's over. The conversation is over.
That's fine.
So yeah, maybe you can like solve that part of the equation. That would be cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so like in that, so what's the process for the onboarding? Like, is that like, how do you explain? Okay, so you need to download the wallet, and then you need to create a Coinbase account to buy Solana, and then send Solana to the wallet, and then don't lose the 24 words. That can be 12 too, but yeah, don't write them on paper. You have to put it on a fucking like steel block that you have to dig a hole under your house and keep it safe. How do you do that?
Yeah. So I think like even before they even like, for example, like even before they get like a wallet and stuff, right? Those kind of knowledge is like a prerequisite thing. Like they kind of need to understand a bit more about like how even like wallet addresses work, right? And how like it's different from things they are familiar with. So a lot of people, they are familiar with like email, for example. They kind of have a concept of like how email works, but that same concept can't really be like fully transposed to like a wallet address. It just, there's some similarities, but like there's a lot of differences as well. So for like for someone coming to the space, they kind of need to get like a firmer understanding of like what is a wallet to begin with, and like just some basics about like some of the how to kind of keep their wallet secure and things like that. So I think we are also aware that like the current way that like right now, the current, so we're talking about the current app that we have, right, in terms of like the app.skills.baby that we are running the whole onboarding flow on right now. It's kind of just like a quiz thing where they go through like some questions and then they get like some basic knowledge and so-called get protected before they onboard and stuff like that, right? So that's the status quo right now. And what we're actually working towards is something that's a little bit even more simplified and like broken down into smaller parts, and with like higher doses of engagement with like the whole pet thing that we have going on. And we want to bring that whole thing to like a mobile app actually for like the users. Yeah, so something that they can really engage with easily. Yeah,
that's interesting. Do you think you could create content on YouTube for normies so they can understand all of that and then spread the good words like that?
Maybe it's not even the main team doing it, because actually right now the DAO is like fully mobilized, and then we have like task forces coming up, right? And then there's like education task force, marketing task force, and some of them do like really good work and stuff, and they actually produce like YouTube videos and things like that that can be fulfilling that purpose as well. Yeah.
Yeah, and just to kind of piggyback on the whole like onboarding thing, on what Julian was saying, it's kind of like we're at a place where like when you go to onboard your friend or your family, right, like to crypto, you typically just like direct them to Coinbase or hey, download Phantom Wallet, and then you just send them off into the wild, right? Like, and it's kind of like, how do we get them educated before, right? Kind of like similar to I use this analogy all the time, and actually Julian was the one that came up with this, but like before you get your driver's license, right? Like, how do we educate people before they get the wallet, right? Kind of like how you get your driver's license. You take education. You don't need to know like how that car is built, like the engine, right? Like you don't need to know like the transmission fluids and what goes where. You just need to know how to drive the car safely and get it from point A to point B, right? So like you don't need to know the interoperability of blockchain in the same way. You just need to understand like a wallet and how to use it and how to protect yourself in a sense. So it's like, if we can catch them before they download a wallet or get a wallet, I think that'll help a lot of people like coming into the space. So
no, that's interesting. Yeah, like like we say a lot that the best way to do like Web3 and crypto is like not to be aware that you're doing anything on chain, right? That's the true onboarding process of people.
Yeah, I tend to disagree with that, and I'll tell you. And I'll tell you why. The reason is because if we truly want to move towards this like self-custody decentralization aspect of Web3, like we have to understand everything, right? It can't just be like Web2. We have to understand the Web3 side of it. And I think that's also like what we're doing at Scales is trying to educate kind of like bring more I don't know, like more learnings to this before they just like, jump in. So
yeah,
but
I mean,
yeah,
to
I
add
mean,
on to what Rolex is saying,
Yeah,
I mean, like,
I agree with you.
because if everything is kind of replicating the Web 2 experience,
Yeah.
and they don't even know that they're in Web 3, right? I mean, like we might as well just use Web 2 at that point. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
I don't,
It
like,
works better. Like in a
but
way,
I get what you're saying though, right? It's like how do we meet them where they're at, right? I think that's more the question.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like I think what we're doing with the Scales app right now is like is doing just that. Like we're going to meet them where they're at with like a cool, fun, like interactive way of learning and also understanding. So it's been neat.
That's definitely an interesting point because like for me, like same thing, like Web3 reward you for the time you put into it to understand it and to use it, right? Like you don't deserve like 200% APY on your on Jupiter if you can't spend like 2 hours on a Saturday learning about the whole Jupiter ecosystem, right?
Yeah.
But it required like skills and understanding of a shit ton of stuff before. Like honestly, personally, I'm happy that I have like a software engineer understanding of like how computer works and stuff before starting crypto. Like someone who doesn't have that passive, well, good luck, man. Like it's a huge it's a huge step forward. But YouTube, right? Like you don't understand something, you just type it on YouTube, you consume 100,000 hours of videos, and then you're smart. So what was your personal process to start crypto? Like when you know nothing, like for example, Rolex, like how did you get onboarded into Web3?
Man, so actually I did without even realizing it. I used to play this game called RuneScape online, and I would grind up a bunch of gold in the game, and then I would sell it for like real life money, but they paid me Bitcoin, and so I had to have like a Bitcoin address. Yeah, so I did that for a while, and then I ended up selling like Bitcoin to buy my first car when I was 19 years old, and then I thought it was just internet money. I really did. I just thought it was money you could spend on the internet. I didn't understand the full like graph of it. But yeah, then 2020 happened and everybody was like inside from COVID and at their computers, and I was doing the same thing actually. So like I was pursuing professional poker. I'll just say this. I was doing professional poker, and then COVID shut down all the casinos, right? Like so I was at the computer a lot. And so I found crypto, right? The next casino. And so yeah, I got really involved 2021, 2020 in there.
It's definitely one dot to enter the ecosystem, that's for sure. But like having Bitcoin, that's cool. That's cool. What about you, Jillian?
I guess same. I mean, we all kind of started with like Bitcoin, right? In a sense, I also kind of like started there. I just started buying Bitcoin on like Coinbase on like a regular basis, and then discovered like how to do like self custody with like a ledger, right? Then you order like a ledger and then put like Bitcoins inside, things like that. And then at one point, I think like 2018 or something, I kind of like saw like at that point there was this coin called like Nano that was like very fast, like instant transaction and stuff. Yeah. So I was like really into that for like a period of time, and then after that, kind of when Solana came along, had like similar kind of properties and like had like smart contracts and things like that. That's when I kind of got into it as well. Yeah,
that's cool. And do you think like Memecoins is like a huge entrance for like people to jump into crypto?
I mean,
I do, yeah.
Obviously, like the current meme coin meta is going pretty strong, right? So it's definitely attracting a lot of people in because like they're in for like the quick gains and things like that, right? Yeah. So I mean, in reality, I mean, it definitely is. But it also has like a it's also hyper kind of competitive in a sense. Like it's hyper. I mean, it creates like huge winners and like a lot of losers as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Life. Yeah. That's life.
Yeah. But like, in a really extreme way compared to like
I know 100%. Yeah. What about you, Alex? What's your take?
Yeah, I think the question was, will meme coins like draw a lot of people in? Yeah. I think absolutely, because it's like when people look at crypto for the first time, right? They think they have to buy like a whole Bitcoin or a whole Ethereum or whatever the case may be. But if they can like buy a meme coin that's like fractions of it and stack a lot of it, it's just there's something special about that too. Like being the first or being early to something. So. But meme coins have a lot of energy behind them, man. Like that, it just like you can feel different like meme coin energies, like different communities or different tokens, like and it's a fun experience to be a part of. And I think that's what a lot of people like talk about in this space is the meme coins, because it's like the get rich quick and it's the fairy tale, the thing like that. That everybody wants to live, right? You buy $100 of WIF and now you're a millionaire, right? Like,
that's what's up.
So it's like, I think there's something like intriguing about that, and it just naturally draws people in. So
that's good. Okay, so what's a good meme coin? How would you define that?
Oh man, it depends on the person, I think, right? What are you looking for? And I mean, obviously everybody's looking to make money, but really, like when I look at meme coins and decide myself, like, is this going to be a good coin or not, or does it have potential? It's the community. It's like the people who are holding the token. Because if like the price starts to dip and everybody's, at each other's throats and things like that, it's probably not going to sustain. But you get a good group of holders that just like, they're diamond hands, or they hang out, they enjoy each other's vibe. Kind of like how we do with the Zero Boys at Mockju. That's one that I'm in. I love Mockju, and yeah, you just vibe with the community and go from there.
Yeah, for real. And in the chat, like share with us, like if you have any scales in your bag, show some numbers. I want to see the words in the chat. So what about you, Julian? Like, what's a good meme coin from your perspective?
Well,
and why
Bitcoin
scale is the best one?
Bitcoin is a good meme coin. No. I think like meme coins, right? I think it's like it's really cool because it's like anybody can like create their own money in a sense, right? And like anyone can like so I think meme coins when they first start, it's always about group of people kind of like having a like even though everyone knows that like at some point, you're just like trying to like compete one another to kind of make profits, right? In a sense. But when the whole kind of like when like a new meme coin begins, it's always like a group of people, they kind of have like a common vision or like idea about like how this like concept is about. Like it's they could find it funny, they could find it interesting, they could find it meaningful or whatever, but basically they kind of agree that there's some consensus, there's some agreement among the holders, the initial holders, that hey, this thing is cool, this is interesting, and this thing is like money in a sense, like it's worth like certain value, and that's why they hold it, right? That's why they hold it, and like as more people come to that belief, the value like go up, right? And then at some point there's still the competitiveness, the PvP aspect, and then people start to sell, take profit and things like that, and then you go through the swings and cycles. But at the end of the day, there will still be that kind of core group of believers that think that, oh, like this concept has value and it has go to a certain amount of dollars, and then they'll like keep pushing that idea on people. And if you think about it, that's really exactly how like Bitcoin started as well. In the sense, it's a whole anti financial system, right? The against like the banks and like all these things, and then like people believe that concept, right? Self custody and all that thing, right? And then they all buy into Bitcoin, right? And that's how like the whole thing kind of started as well. And you can see the same kind of things repeating with like Bonk, with like WIF, where people just kind of believe in that some kind of idea and meme, and then at some point it reaches some kind of like escape velocity, right? And it becomes like a super Ponzi in a sense that people have just so much confidence in it. It becomes like a confidence coin. Like it can't really drop. Like people buy it because they feel confident that other people will hold it.
And then we get ETFs, and then it's like validated by the big market, and that's cool.
That's kind of like the stage of it.
Exactly.
Of course, at like each stage you have like the big players, and like I think Ansem made a tweet about this, like how like at different stages there's like different things going on, and like at 100 million bucks you see like the market makers and like the big players coming in to accumulate and stuff like that to try to create that floor there, right? In a sense, yeah. So that's the whole process behind it, yeah.
When are we going to have a Scales ETF?
When are you opening? I don't know.
All right, soon, next week. Let's go. That's what's up. And like, how do you compete with like 100,000 token launch every fucking day on pub.fun? Like, how do you stay relevant and like keep building the community? Like, how do you do that? Because it's hard.
I think we have a purpose. That's really what it like kind of boils down to in a sense. Like, these other coins are pretty much just to like, PvP, like take your money, like whoever's the last one to buy in is the biggest loser, right? And with Scales, it's like a lot different. Like we set out to like solve a problem or an issue, like with onboarding new users to Web3 in like a safe and friendly way. And we see that there's a problem there. So we're just like going after that problem and trying to solve it in a way that we feel is best. And that's really like what I think separates us. And that's why it says, Scales is more than just a meme coin, right? Like we have the token, but the token is like the energy, right? Like the meme coin energy. And like, it's a way to get the message across and a way to like reach people. And then what we're doing, the education and stuff like that just goes hand in hand with it. So
that makes sense.
But yeah,
that makes sense.
Yeah, like there's the meme part of it, right? But like at the end of the day, it's also a governance kind of token, and it's also like the way I see that the way that we design the tokenomics and everything is really kind of also to make it such that it aligns the long-term incentives of like people who we think that are like aligned to this idea, and I can see the vision of what we're trying to build, and I can see the same problem that we're trying to solve, right? So really, it's like the Scales tokens eventually we all held by these people who believe in the long-term vision. That's how we envision the tokenomics to go, right? So if someone is like really passionate and they see this vision and they see this problem that we're trying to solve, and they want to help to solve it, and they're like the builders in the community, that's who will end up holding on the tokens in the end.
100%. And then that makes sense. Like this meme coin season mania is like you said, right? It's like the greater fool theory, right? Like you just don't want to be the last fucking idiot holding the next pump and dump, right? So it's like match what's the Jupiter trying to initiate with the PPP meta mindset. So player pump player, right? And where we stay away from the PPP. So how do you implement that itself with Scales? Like how that works?
Maybe I start with prefacing by saying that like I don't think like PvP or like is necessarily a bad thing. Neither is like PvP definitely better than PvP. It's just like they're like different concepts that apply in like different scenarios, I think. Yeah, because if you think about PvP, actually PvP can be like fun. I mean, it's a competition, right? And like competition breeds like innovation and stuff like that as well, which I think is great. And I think some misconception is that people when they think about PvP, they think like, oh, like everybody must have equal outcomes. I think that's not really true as well. It's not like a communism thing, right? It's not.
Don't bring communism to Web3, please.
Yeah. So it's not. It's really not. The whole idea of PvP, I think, is like really about the idea of like an infinite kind of like a long-term thinking, long-term game. So actually, in every meme coin, we talk about this just now as well. Actually, in every meme coin, right? Interestingly, right? Actually, the meme coins that do well, they're actually very PvP because like the solid holders, the long-term holders, whoever they are actually maintaining that ideal or that ideology that basically that the coin can reach a certain valuation, and that's why they hold on to it, right? And that's like a really PvP thing because they are seeing that like, hey, all of us must do this together, and then we can achieve this goal, for example, of like a certain market cap on like a meme coin, right? So that's in itself is a very PvP idea where you are essentially saying no to any short-term gains and focusing on like a long-term outcome as a community together, basically, right? So even though there's a whole PvP concept where like, oh, if I sell now, I can take the money from someone else in a sense, but they are kind of like foregoing that and going for like, hey, let's work together to kind of keep this valuation, right? In some sense. So that's kind of like a PvP idea behind it as well. In the context of skills, I mean, one way that we kind of bring that into the mechanics as well, we also have like this. We created like this game, this game mini game, right? In a sense, that has to do with the pet, where there's like a burning mechanism for the tokens. We call this game Ignitor's Lair, basically, where they have to bring like scales token to the dragon to kind of burn it in order to like hatch the egg. Yeah. Yeah, like if you click on the flame icon, it brings up like the game. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So it's kind of like a PPP game, we call it, because the way to win this game is that people have to cooperate and like get to essentially like 9.95 million scales per round in the pool in order to earn like a heart to win the round, right? But each person only needs to send 100,000 to participate. So someone needs to send more. So you need to send more to kind of help the community to win together, in a sense.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's a very kind of cooperative game, which is at the core of it. Cooperation is actually at the core of it what PvP is about, right? People seeing like a bigger vision and kind of cooperating towards their bigger vision, right? And I think the whole concept of skills in terms of the governance as well is also representing that PvP concept, where like, hey, we see that this is the problem in the space. Let's all coordinate and let's all with the whole DAO, all the task forces, everyone kind of work towards this, solving this problem together, and let's get rewarded together at the end. Yeah.
Okay. So all of the skills that I got from completing the protection onboarding, I should burn them to that, right?
You can use it to play the game. Yeah, I can use it to play the game, but it wouldn't last very long, I guess. Like, I mean, 9 rounds probably.
That's what you said.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's dope. Okay. That's interesting.
Yeah.
No, I was just gonna say, and we have some pretty impressive numbers on success rate for these rounds. Like every round is 15 minutes. And what do we have, Julian? Like a 95% success rate?
95 to 97. I mean, it used to be, but we kind of like paused some of the things, right? So it kind of dropped a little bit recently, probably. Yeah. Because we paused some of the hard loss to kind of get ready for the next set of game updates. It's coming soon.
Yeah.
Like
tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay. That's cool.
But we've had this like burn game running now for what? Over a week? It's like over
longer
a week.
Longer than that.
Yeah, so it's like every 15 minutes, people are like playing this game and winning together. It's a cool thing to see. Yeah,
that's nice. Okay. So can you summarize the game again? So every 15 minutes, I have to burn token?
No.
No.
So you have 4 hearts, right? Like you have your pet there, and your egg, and it tells you how old it is. So like the point of it is to care for this egg and hatch it eventually, right? So those hearts are your life. You can gain a heart by, if you click the flames, you can gain a heart by, as long as this round wins. You see the timer, it says it ends in 13 minutes, right? So as long as you win, long as that pool is over 10 million or 9.95 million at the end of the timer, everybody who sent in at least 100,000 scales gets a heart. So you don't have to do it. You lose, what is it? You lose 3 hearts a day once it's 21 days or older. But like on the first couple days, it's really slow. You lose like 1 heart, right? So that's kind of the little game. It's kind of like Tamagotchi if you've ever.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay. No, we're talking. Yeah, I'm hold. Okay, thank you. But I get it. I get it now. Okay, so I buy token, then I can send it to burning, and then my dragon will become. Is the eggs gonna become a dragon? What's the level? What's the day? How many days do I need
at
to get
day
the dragon?
37, between day 31 to 38, it will hatch into a hatchling.
Okay,
and then after that, it should become a baby dragon at some point.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Is that gonna be an NFT?
So actually, the way that we are using NFT now, right, in the whole system, right, is that it's actually a items kind of system. So we have this thing called, like right now on your egg. If you look at your egg, right,
let me
there's like the water and like the food thing, right? So so that's actually like a inventory where you can send in like a Scales Classic item, which is like a NFT basically. You can send it in, and then you appear in your inventory. So right now we have one item that's released, which is the Growth Elixir, where people can use it to add like 20 days to their pets age basically, so that they can accelerate the hatching process if you don't want to play like the burning thing for like 37 days basically.
Okay. Nice. Oh, fuck. I have a new task to do every day now. That's cool.
Or you can just get 2 elixirs and skip the whole thing. But then you don't.
They are free ship now. They're free ship now. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's fun. Yeah, and I want to play with the community too. So
let's go.
What's up? Okay. So here for the reward, send me more scales, please, so I can burn it. So I can keep my levels.
If you get the Dragon Council role, you can join the voting, and then when you vote, you get governance rewards, which are in scales as well.
That's so smart. That's cool. Okay, so it's a virtuous cycle of participation.
Yes. And like if you join the DAO task forces and stuff, they will have like budget for like contributors. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Oh, okay. So many things to do. I love it.
It's so we're really trying to like activate the entire DAO and community to kind of go towards this vision and build together. Yeah.
So are you talking about those proposals too?
So that's done. So all these votes are done.
Yeah.
So when I say task forces, I mean like kind of like you know how like okay, so this concept is copied. It's basically copied from the Jupiter Working Group concept.
Yeah, that's that's it.
That's that we are like the hobo broke version of it, where we don't have like a 10 million treasury, you know.
Not yet.
Yeah. But it works. Like the incentives mechanism still work for long-term alignment, because ultimately, if people see that this thing is a problem and that they want to help to solve it, there will still be people who want to do it. Yeah.
Nice. That makes sense. And like, how many people do you have in your community right now?
Oh, in terms of like Discord, we have like about 12,000 people. But like the actual kind of like voters, we have about 2,300 who are voting. Like and then the most recent vote, we had a 70% turnout, so about 1,700 people who voted.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. And do you track like the number of people that you onboarded to the Solana ecosystem that stay around in the Scale community?
Oh, we are still kind of like building the onboarding product at the moment. I would say that we are about 40% there. Once we hit about 80%, really, we'll kind of like do like a mass kind of marketing and like referral campaign thing, and then then we'll do like tracking from there. Yeah.
Okay, that's what's up. That's cool. And okay, so in terms of onboarding, do you also? In terms of onboarding, I think it's easier to onboard already like crypto people that are like in other chain than people who are not even in crypto at all. Onboard the ETH maxis, and if you can get them over here, then then good job.
It depends actually, and I think for like the team, right? The team like what we are focused now actually is more like we want to build like an app that kind of onboards like people who have not even touched crypto before, or like if they may just be on like crypto exchanges without being on chain. So these are what we're kind of more focused on. But from the DAO side of things, like the task force and stuff, we actually expand the reach to like other ecosystems as well. Like put out content on Twitter and stuff like that to kind of attract those users. Because there's quite a lot of ideas going around, and then a lot of these ideas actually revolve around like Twitter, YouTube, and things like that, right? So it will definitely bring in like crowds from the other ecosystems if they come across this kind of content. Yeah.
Okay, so you believe that normies are easier to convert that his Mac feed that's minted?
May not be easier, but in terms of the team, we are kind of like more situated to be able to target.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Build something to target it. Yeah, build something to target it.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Rolex, do you have a take?
Oh no, I was gonna say, I think it's important, kind of like what you were talking about. Like, we realize it's important to get people in the community and lay that foundation of people who already understand what's going on and can kind of like help catch those people that are going to come in through Scales and be onboarded. But yeah, it's like you want to start from the ground up. What better way to do it than with all these amazing Solana NFT communities and token communities? And people who are already been here or who have already, you know, been here and been through some things and kind of like have knowledge about it. So
okay, that makes sense. And okay, in terms of community, what's the good community? Or like your vision for a community? What it looks like?
Yeah, I think honestly, it's like I don't mean to sound biased, but like I really think it looks like scales in a sense, right? Like, because when I think about it, like, how do you bring all of these amazing NFT communities and the Solana ecosystem? Like, how cool would that be to see them all together? Like, we see all these separation things of like different communities, right? But how cool would it be to see all of them just like under one roof, like pushing towards a goal and something that's like for the better of the ecosystem, right? It's not just like a project that we're giving you all white lists for, we're going to make a ton of money. It's like, hey, let's try to like fix a problem in the space and like make it better so that we can have more people invited into Solana, invited into crypto. And like, I know that sounds really biased, right? Like, but it's like, it's the truth, right? Like, you know, if you ask yourself, right, like, what do you think would be like the coolest project? Don't you think it would be cool if you had all of the like best founders in the ecosystem, like working on one project? I just think that's amazing. And I think that's what we've kind of done here with Scales in the community. So
that's interesting.
I'm excited, man. Like, yeah.
What about you, Julian? What's the best community looks like for you?
I don't think there's like necessarily like a best community, but I feel like a good one that I hope that we can achieve is that we are really like kind of welcoming to like newcomers in a sense. Like we are really like patient and like kind to like new people that join us in general. Just like a more more understanding and kind, basically. I think that's really important.
Sometimes
and
it's
I think
hard, bro.
yeah,
Hard to be kind, bro. Like because sometimes you have to answer questions that's the 10 times you answer the same question in a day. And you just want to ban the Discord user. But yeah, if you're more patient than me, that's cool.
Yeah.
And like, okay, so that was a question from Cass, because I asked in the Discord. What about like how do you create like a healthy culture in a trustless space, basically, where everyone is here for the money and everyone is fighting for themselves, but you have like more pure intent than that? How do you fight the greed of the space?
Yeah, it's a tough one, right? Like that's a tough one. Because, and I think this is what I really that's what I really love about Zero and the Zero Boys, right? Because it really teaches you about this. So like in this space, we have like this moon culture, right? Like where people just, and that's kind of like what we have to fight against, I feel like, because one, it's not sustainable, but two, it's like everybody's just pumping each other's bags to dump on the next person that buys. Like, there's no long-term like end game for that. And so I think that like, I don't know, I just love what Zero stands for, and it's like the community aspect. And I think that that'll grow, right? Like the pendulum swings really far one way and then it starts to come back. And I think that's just like where we'll be at, you know, we just start with ourselves and try to spread the vibes as best we can. And I know that other people will feel the same, you know, like eventually people get burnt out.
It's really like mission driver community where everyone is there for the mission and build into that direction. That makes people rally around you and the project itself, right?
Yeah. I think it's going to take a lot of people. It'll take a while, but it'll take a lot of people to just like stand up. And I think if we can be the example for that or some kind of like role model for that, like we would be honored to do that. I mean, that'd be awesome. So.
That's interesting. Do you have like any like older success stories or like community members story that you saw on Discord, that one guy sharing what happened to him because of Scales, and it was a nice moment. It's that's why I built that project.
You know, I haven't necessarily had like any of those moments yet. Outside of like, as far as we've helped them out, I've seen other moments where it's like I've had that same feeling, but for a different reason. Like the way we were able to pull off our airdrop and like the community feedback we got from that, like Julian did all that, like, and thought that up. It was brilliant. And just to like see people saying like they really appreciated that they didn't have to connect their wallet to anything, to claim the airdrop. I think it was a good thing. And it was like, that's why I'm here. Like, it's to make these simple changes, or to try to make this place a better and safer place, and where people want to have fun, and they want to join. So that was kind of a moment for me. But I think eventually, like once down the line, like once the DAO is like, operating and whatnot, and we're approving claims and people are getting to claim Scales tokens back that they were drained, I think that there's going to be this is why I do it, because you just changed somebody's life. Like they could have been at zero and out of the game, but they at least have something there, with Scales. We were able to provide that. I think that's when it'll be that moment for me.
Nice. What about you, Julian? Do you have something in mind? Good job for the airdrop.
Whatever Rolex covered, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was the airdrop like the same way that the first reward that you have to claim after the protection?
That you collected? Yeah. It's the exact same thing. Yeah.
That's cool. So basically, like, you have to send a transaction and then to pay the account, and once the account is paid and verified, then you have you trigger the airdrop.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, so it takes like even if you were to go to like claim, or connect your wallet to another like airdrop claim like that, you're gonna pay that fee regardless, right? But you put yourself at the risk of getting drained on that transaction because you've connected. As to where this is, you're still risking that same amount of SOL, the 0.023, right? But you're not 0.0023, you're right. Yeah. But you're not putting yourself at risk of losing your entire portfolio, right? So
that's fun.
Kind of a way around that.
You could even like take this action during the onboarding. Like, when you have like all of the steps when you have to go through, if that claim is part of the onboarding, then you have an action that's gonna make the user feel like he's part of it too. Like it's an active onboarding.
Yeah. Actually, that's what we're gonna move towards for the mobile part. It will be like we don't want to drop too much details yet. Let's see how it goes. But it will be more active. It'll be more active, and we want to make it like so simple, right? That even like a 5-year-old can go through it. Like the first part, at least. Then after it gets a bit more difficult.
that's literally our goal. Like we both have like 5 and 6-year-old children, and so we're like, okay,
we're gonna make sure that they can use the app.
That's our gauge.
But you have to have the soul inside your mobile. That's tricky. Because
there are different stages.
Yes,
so
give me details.
I think like the first part of it, we want the hook to be like it's so engaging and easy at the start. Then after they can delve into a bit more, and then maybe like now they need to be 13 years old to kind of understand what's going on. Yeah, but even then we want to make it like really like simple, and like because I think right now it's still too like the way we're doing in the web is still too like complicated. It's still too complicated. Yeah,
that makes sense. And like, what challenges have you identified already in this onboarding process? Like maybe the friction for Web3, but like all of the steps that you have to simplify, or even the reach of the people. I don't know. Or even like, how do you keep people that are onboarded? Like, how do you keep the experts of blockchain inside the project?
What do you think, Alex?
Yeah, I was gonna say, there's a lot there, right? But we've ran into troubles, I would say, right? Like it's not been like a smooth process. But I think one of the things that I've really like noticed is just being able to adapt to different situations and to just like pivot in a different direction. Like it's hard to do sometimes, right? Like you have something in your head or you have the idea and that's the direction you're going, and then it's like you guys think on it a little more, and now it's like, okay, we gotta change something up here. So I think it's being like versatile or being able to switch up. That's really my thing. I don't know, Julian, what about you?
I think some of the things we notice about like the product, right? I would say it's like right now the process. So the barrier that needs to be lower is like in terms of the login. I think that's like a concrete barrier that can be lowered at the start. So they don't have to like before they experience anything, they shouldn't be logging in stuff. I think it is a barrier that should be removed. And then actually the other thing is like language. Some of the quiz, I think the quiz right now is in English, right? And I think that can be a barrier. That can be a huge barrier in terms of understanding. And then the last thing I would say is actually like a bit counterintuitive, but it's just that the current quiz is just too smooth. Like you just click through everything very quickly and you don't really learn anything.
Yeah.
So that's actually a problem. Actually a problem. That's actually against what we're trying to achieve here. So we need to actually slow it down and break it down into smaller parts, make it more international in terms of the languages, and like remove the barriers. And at the same time, because it's now more broken down, the engagement needs to be like 10x so that they can stick with it.
Yeah. That's interesting. Do you have experience in like a UX UI? Because that's 100% of UX UI products.
I mean, I used to be like product manager and stuff.
Nice, that's cool. That's what's up.
I have like about 3 years experience like building like mobile apps. And stuff like that. Yeah,
that's cool. That's what you need, bro. Because that's where what you described is like changing a button and then like boom, the engagement drop because they can't find it anymore. And then what the fuck? It's gonna be a nice adventure. That's cool. I'm happy that we are doing these streams. That's cool. Learning more about scales. And Julian, you are positively infectious. I'm so happy I didn't miss this lab.
Let's go.
Right. Yes.
Thanks for coming. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for joining us. Yeah.
Rolex, you are also positively infectious. That the scales.
Thank you, Vincent. Thank you.
But I don't know. That's dope. That's dope. That's definitely interesting. And honestly, it's interesting to talk about that kind of meme coin project with like a meme coin with utility. Then okay, so why did you build this meme coin? Oh, because it's funny and the price go up. So okay. Like when you have like a mission and stuff, like the conversation is more interesting. That's for sure. So what would be like the success of Scales looks like? Where are you going in the next few months, weeks, years?
Years, yeah. I'll let Julian go first.
I mean, like, I think personally, it's like I want it to be like if I ask anyone that's on Solana and they can tell me like like how will they bring a friend on board or how will they bring someone on board and they say skills. Basically, that's where I think it's like successful. Yeah.
Okay. You don't want to onboard anyone to Bitcoin?
No. We only focus on Sol. Yeah.
Fuck Bitcoins for boomers anyway.
Actually, I think Bitcoin kind of like. I mean, this is my personal opinion, but I used to like really like Bitcoin as well. But I think like after like the ETF thing and like I don't know, just like it loses some of the magic with it. Yeah.
Bro, Solana ETF is coming up, man.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, it's coming.
But I think the thing about Solana is that at least there's still the whole like self-custody movement around it. And I think we can't let and I think as skills, right, we want to push that. Like decentralization, self-custody. I think this is 100% aligned with like Jupiter's meta as well. Like really like this is what we want to push. Like we want people to custody their own funds and to be able to like take control of their financial kind of financials, basically, like control that.
Yeah, it's in the next few years, it's gonna be an interesting conversation, right? Because like I can see that you give people control to their finance, and 6 months after, they want to go back to the bank because the bank is easier to manage and having all of your fucking money at home. Like, you know, and like the stress of having self-custody of your funds can be stressful too, right?
Which is also why like we want to kind of like, because meme coins really just one aspect, right? There's so many things, other things that are like less risky on that's on chain. Like you can just like hold USDC and like lend it out. That's even like a better return just saving the bank. Much better, right? For example. Or you can just hold like JLP and get like a 40% yield, for example. And it's like probably much more stable than like holding like a volatile asset. Right. So there are all these options available for people to kind of explore. Just that right now a lot of focus is on Memecoin, and I think that's something that scales right in the next kind of phases as well. We will kind of bring that into the picture as well. Like how do we get people to explore all these other things that's on chain besides just Memecoins, right? Just chasing after gains on Memecoins, which is ultimately is hyper competitive and like only some people can win. And that's definitely not going to appeal to like everybody, like the masses. Some people will just want more stable options and like more like secure options to like park their money, for example. And that's also where like the skills utility comes in as well, right? Like in the worst case where you're on chain and you get fucking like drained, right? You can like get back some of your tokens.
Yeah, true. And bring back the NFT market. So if you don't like meme
coins, we want to support like all the NFT communities that are with us. Like we are going to announce this soon, I believe, but like we're going to partner up with like some strong NFT communities to do some cool things. Yeah.
Nice. Bullish. Yes, Rex. Drop some alpha. Yes.
Yeah. No, I was just gonna say, we're working on something with some NFT communities that we're just gonna we want to deeper the relationship with and the collaboration.
Like this is with blessing from the DAO. Actually, it's from one of the DAO votes. The DAO vote part one, the one that you saw in your screen just now. One of the proposals. So this is actually coming from there, where we get basically the NFTs, like the proposed modifications part one. The one in the middle. Sorry, no, not this one. The other one.
Oh yeah, okay. Oh yeah. You're right. I can't read, bro.
This one. So it's actually part of this proposal where that's actually where like being in NFT communities, we'll kind of like enable them to raise their limits of how much they can kind of claim back from the DAO when they get drained. So this is part of the token utility that the DAO has approved on, and that will basically play into like how we will collaborate some of these NFT communities in the future. And we want to really like make it like we want to kind of aggregate, right, all these great communities with like in one place, right? And like really like let's grow like the audience that they will be exposed to, so that people come into Scales, they learn about these great communities and they can explore them, they can get their NFTs, for example. And then in return, these communities can also get protected by like having like Scales, let's say.
Educated. Okay, that's cool. That's the power of Web3, right? Like in a way, like every project, NFT or Memecoin or whatever, they kind of like walk in the same direction where we want like people to use what you're doing, etc. And the collaboration aspect of it makes it like, it's easier to talk to more people from different holders of another collection than having a private company when you see everyone as a competition and nobody talks to anybody, right? Like in Web3, it's completely different. Like you're just like one tweet away of like having a huge partnership with Jupiter or Helios or whatever. And just like, what's up, bro? And then boom, you have like a DAO with $10 billion budget.
Like the space is just very connected, right? The space is just very connected.
Exactly. Like just these streams, right? Like after 3 messages, or say, let's go to the channel, let's have these streams, and what's up? Let's go. That's it. It's cool. We are living in the best industry of the world. That's what I want to say.
Definitely. I think Web3 is gonna be huge. It's gonna be huge. In the next 10 years, it's gonna be huge.
Yeah. Like for our generation, it's like the biggest opportunity of making money and stuff and like whatever, but like to that plus AI maybe. So if you can do both, that's a banger. But it has the biggest growth potential ever. It's like being at the beginning of internet all over again. And that's exciting. And everyone will be onboarded. Like Scales will be the Google homepage of Web3 in 2 weeks.
That's the dream, dude.
2 weeks.
2 weeks. I don't know. 2 weeks.
Okay,
I wouldn't have my money on it, but
3 weeks. How long do you need? Like, tell me, and then we just.
I don't know, man. I don't want to set any.
How many sprints?
0, right? 0. We will focus and build.
Yeah.
Let's just focus on the next feature and like just like step one at a time. Yeah.
And
yeah.
what's the next features then? Give me some.
So I do have a channel in the Discord, right? That I actually like
Oh.
post about work in public, where I really just post like what I'm working on, like what I'm thinking about, and I just post like raw kind of ideas and thoughts there, like things that I'm working on. So actually what I posted there recently is just right now we're kind of finalizing some of the pet mechanics and to kind of give like a new gameplay mechanic to like the pet once for the hatchling. So that's
Nice.
what's next. Yeah. Okay. And after that we'll actually be starting on the mobile app. Yeah.
Nice. That's cool. How many people are working on Scales?
If you mean the team or like you mean like the whole DAO included?
No, like the core team. How many people?
3 of us actually.
Nice.
Me, Rolex, and Nova. That's an
Nice.
He's our graphic. He's our designer artist. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's cool. Okay, and plus the DAO, like that's 100 of people, right? You said 500.
There's a lot in the DAO. There's a lot in the DAO who are working on it. But like the more active ones, if you count them, it's probably around like 20 to 50, kind of.
Okay, that's reasonable. You can do something big with that kind of people, like with that number of people.
Definitely. We're looking forward to the DAO Task Force votes that will be happening next week, actually. So this week they will be doing their AMAs, where I will talk to some of the DAO Task Force leads and like the team, and then ask them questions and stuff. And then next week there will be the votes for the DAO Task Forces. Yeah, and that will kind of make them official, and like they can start doing things, for the DAO.
Nice. That's amazing. Talking about DAO, like often a lot of project team, whatever, don't really like that because the DAO can be like slow to execute, or it can turn into like a politics. SMB, I'm looking at you. Like it's hard to manage a DAO long term and keep the velocity of a small team startup, right? Plus, in a way, it's easier to build when you have like the enlightened dictatorship of a founder, right? That drive the vision and the direction of the project. So how do you manage that DAO, and like do you already see some problems with this DAO setup?
Okay, so personally, I think that actually it's very, very good, right, to build with like the community. Okay. Especially for like so it really depends on the product and like the team and like the kind of things that you're building, right? But for like a very early stage, I would say like early stage startup project kind of thing, right? It's actually really good to like build with the community because like regardless of whether you implement the feedback that they say or not, the feedback is very, very useful. No, really, the feedback is very, very useful coming from the community. Like it's very useful, and it gives you like a real-time sensing on like what people think about whatever features that you're pushing out, which is very important. Because if you build like something like in the dark, right, you just like don't launch and you don't get feedback, it's often going to turn out like not what you expect when you actually launch it.
Building in public is different than the DAO, right? Because the DAO is like you ask something and they say yes, and you want to do no, but they vote yes.
So it's about having very clear separation as well between like what is the DAO decision making power over, and like how to create a synergy. So it's really about over communicating like what are the synergistic aspects between the DAO and the team, and what's the vision that both of them are aligned together. But the way that they get to the vision may be different, right? So for the team, really, we are kind of focused on like delivering the product, making sure that we can actually create like source of revenue, for example, potentially in the future as well, right? And I think for the DAO, really, it's more like making sure that token utility is functional, delivering on the token promise, like the social contract of the token, right? In terms of the claims and stuff. That's very, very important, right? And also kind of the DAO is also in charge of kind of like helping to move towards that vision together with the team in their own ways, coming with their own strategies and ways. So from the team perspective, it's like we set the constraints, like this is your playing field. You have this amount of budget, this amount of tokens you can use. And then let's let your imagination run wild, right? We are not going to like go there and dictate that you do this, do that, right? You have all this space you want to do whatever things you want. It's fine. We will just support it. We'll try to support. We'll give our honest feedback, yes. But if you still want to do it and the community supports it, then just do it, because the team may be wrong also. Like we might be wrong on certain things, and certain wild ideas may work, because we don't know everything as well, right? So that's the beauty of like the community and the DAO, because they bring across this like diversity of ideas and the ability to, and the task force creates the ability to execute on these ideas. So it's not just the idea; it's become operational, right? Because if you only have ideas, then nothing gets done if there's no task forces to operate on it. Yeah.
And then you have you extend the team for basically cheap. That's cool.
Well, so we have essentially now we have like a team that's like hyper focused on the product, right? And like have the community feedback to help with it. And on top of that, we have like a freaking like huge army of like DAO members to push towards the same vision with their own strategies and like initiatives. So it's amazing to kind of have this synergy actually.
That's cool.
And the thing that unifies everything, right, is really the tokenomics and the tokens that gives that common incentives to move towards it.
Yeah, because then you have a financial incentive for the task force to execute something that's gonna work. Then you have it, and then everyone is happy because they made a bag, and you change the life of like 10,000 people. That's cool. Rolex, do you have like anything to add to that?
No, I was just gonna say, I think like having a wise DAO is like really important in this decision-making process, so that we can like work alongside them. And I mean, Scales DAO has been doing great, I think, as far as like adjustments and like learning and kind of like seeing the team's vision and rallying behind it. So yeah, that's all I wanted to add. I just think that we're so new, but it's like there's so much that has happened at the same time. But you know, the chaos is fun. I love it, and and we're getting through it, man. We're getting through it. So
that's amazing. So yeah, SMB, you have to fix your DAO.
No, SMB is great. We love SMB. Actually.
Yeah, no, me too. I'm trolling. But it's amazing. So it works. So yeah, good job. You have fixed the which is Jupiter like did some also like a pretty cool solution when you incentivize people to vote, and then you have the airdrop from other project. That's a nice way. Like again, it's like price go up and everyone's making money, so you have the most not mercenary, but like
I may be biased, but the community is amazing.
Exactly. See exactly. I started a trend. SMB take notes. That's how we do it. That's amazing. And Jesus, 31 bro, time flies. Okay, upcoming features you don't want to answer and you want to keep it secret. That's
the Discord. The Discord. It's all there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice.
It turns out incentive to join us.
What about the future in terms of trends? Where do you think like the meme coin season will last longer this time? Because we see it like again, it's wave, right? But right now, it's everything on Solana is about meme coins. Do you see it like dying out Q4 or like 2025, or like it's gonna be a perpetual, season of meme coin?
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a long season of meme coins, right? Like, and the reason being is just because it's like this is the first time we've really seen this kind of meme coin craze on Solana, right? Like last cycle, all these meme coins were on ETH, and that's where like all the liquidity and meme coins were at. This cycle, it's Solana, and I think the barrier to entry for Solana is so much lower than it is for ETH.
Yeah,
and I just see this thing kind of taking off. You know, you see, I hate to say it, but it's like you see all these like celebrities and stuff launching these coins and whatnot. So you see the mainstream starting to take notice of this and starting to take note, and it's like, you know, this is the chain that they're choosing. So I think that meme coins are something that are here to stay probably for a long time. And yeah, who knows how to predict them and what they'll do, but I think it'll be a long meme coin season. Yeah.
Bro, I don't think Jason Derulo onboarded any normies to Solana because he launched a token. Like,
the thing is it's like, yeah, I mean that alone is not going to onboard people, right?
Yeah.
But I think,
do we know for sure though? We haven't. I mean, have you?
Pure speculation. like pure speculation. Like I have zero data to back it up, I can't imagine like a Jason Derulo fan, like a little teenager, like 15 years old, and say, oh yeah, Jason is launching a meme coin on Solana. What's Solana? Let's download, let's check it out. Let's install Phantom. Let's check up scales. Let's go. I want the Jason token. It's not happening.
Yeah. No, yeah, absolutely true.
Yeah. So yeah, but it will happen with scales.
Maybe. We'll see. That's what we hope.
Yeah.
Honestly,
no,
like
I think like Memecoin is not something that will go away. It's like I actually thought about this in December as well. Like I actually tweeted something about this. Like Memecoin is not gonna go away because like I think the level of UX, right, has actually reached a level where like it's a very, very good substitute for leveraged or perps trading. So all the freaking degens and gamblers, they will, instead of trading perps, they will come and trade meme coins. So it will not go away just as perps will not go away, because it's a very good substitute. So so the level of UX is like same now, and then it offers like the same experience where people can make like huge gains with like little capital.
Yeah.
Right. So this will always attract people in, and you will keep growing. You'll keep growing as long as regulation doesn't shut it down. Yeah. Yeah.
Bro, they have 10 years to shut down Memecoin, so it's fine. We're good. Like we can cook. We can cook in the trenches before the ACC is coming up.
So in a sense, it's not even like it's definitely not a short-term thing. It's a significant change in, and I think apps, and I mean all the apps they see it, right? I mean Palm.fun is now the biggest revenue grossing app across all chains, even bigger than Ethereum revenue, right? In a sense. Yeah.
Crazy.
So like so like that's a sign, right, of like this thing just expanding, because it's just gonna keep going from there. Yeah.
I mean, the wrong business, bro.
I think Jupiter is also trying to get into the game now. They're trying to get into the game now with like the ape product, right? And I think they're gonna launch something related to Memecoin as well, probably soon. Yeah.
Like the ape app, I didn't understand. I didn't understand the product. Like it's a fucking road check with Jupiter brand. I didn't understand that. So
it's like a BonkBot competitor, actually.
Yeah,
I think.
like
they're trying to build a replacement for BonkBot. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's still getting there.
Yes, they have like it's kind of like 6 months late. I don't know. Maybe they will have to catch up, because like again, like,
and I think they
will better.
Catch up.
Yeah. The what?
They will catch up. They are cooking.
Okay, so you know they're cooking.
Yeah.
Yes, Rex.
No, I was gonna say yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're cooking, bro. Like they're cooking. So.
Okay, so you know stuff. Okay, that's what's up. I think we have covered everything that I wanted to ask you about. Did I forget anything? Any major point, critical point that you wanted to cover to the audience, the decoders community, and the scales community? Did I forget anything?
No. Not that I can think of. I've had a lot of fun doing this, man. This podcast was fun.
That's what
my
you do, bro.
favorite one I've been a part of. So,
yeah.
And now that you have been on the channel, you can come back whenever you want. If you want to do like any product announcement and stuff, we can definitely organize. Yeah.
Thank you, man. Thank you, man. I appreciate that for real.
Thanks for bringing us on. Yeah. Great chat. Yeah.
So now I need to buy scales to burn to get a dragon. Yeah.
And join the DAO task forces.
Yeah.
Okay.
There we go.
Okay, that's what's up. Do you need like video content creators?
I was just gonna say
we have one guy who's like creating some YouTube for us. Actually, he's like doing pretty good. Like he's doing pretty good for the DAO. Yeah.
Nice. Okay, because
I can say the link later. Yeah.
But, yes, do that because that's the new direction of decoders. We're gonna be like a talent agency for content creators. So
nice.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
The goal is like to have an army of content creators behind in the backstage.
Nice.
Awesome.
We're cooking. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate that. I hope in the chat you enjoyed the hours that we spent together. Thank you so much, Julian, and thank you so much, Rex. Do you have like any takeaway for the audience about scales, about everything that we discussed that they should remember?
Yeah,
Or
if you're,
any call to action?
if you're looking for a community that is literally like, it's the best way to get into every NFT community or intermingle with them, join Scales, join the conversation, see what we're about, and yeah, tell your friends about us. Onboard your friends and family through Scales.
Okay, I'm gonna drop. Yeah, you have all of the links in the description. Obviously, you can follow Rolex and Julian in the YouTube description or from the thread. And I just dropped all of the links. Julian, do you have any takeaway for the people that watch this?
I mean, I have fun in this conversation, and I hope like the listeners had fun as well and like enjoyed it, you know.
Because
and
you have
and you know, if anyone's watching this kind of the recording, right? I think, you know,
Yes.
just come hang out with us in the Discord and stuff. Yeah, just find out more.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you, everyone. Yeah, follow Rolex, follow Julian, follow Scales. Get protected. Yeah. Go on the app, do the onboarding experience, and subscribe, like, share the video, the tweet, etc., etc. Thank you so much, guys. We will see you soon on the channel. And yeah, the next stream is in a couple of hours with subscriber. Thank you so much, and see you soon. Bye. And that's a wrap. I hope you enjoyed the live stream. We'll see you in the next one. But before that, make